The federal government has released funds for the disbursement of 5.12 billion naira in pension arrears to 90,689 defined benefit scheme pensioners under the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate. This is contained in a statement in Abuja by the head of corporate communication of PTAD, Olubenga Ajayi. Welcome to Business Point, where we extract the Nigerian economy and the government policies. I am Kike Lomo Ukere. Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate says the Directorate has finalized the disbursement of money. The Nigerian Customs Service, the Nigerian Immigration Service, and Prison Pension Department. Pensions are 8,626,000 received 276,032 naira for 1 month arrears. The Police Pension Department pensioners are 9,681 received 619,554 naira for the 2 months as arrears. The Civil Service Department pensioners are 12,773, which received 408,736 naira for 1 month arrears. The Parastatals Pension Department pensioners are 55,609, which received 3,814 naira. The statement reveals that the payment reaffirms the administration's commitment to ensuring that pensioners receive their due entitlement in line with the Renew Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's. Recall that last week President Tinubu approved a series of far-reaching measures aimed at improving the welfare of pensioners under the defined benefit scheme, marking a significant milestone in Nigerian pension reform effort. The approval, which aligns with the President's Renewed Hope agenda, were confirmed in a statement issued by Olubenga Ajayi, the head of corporate communication at the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD. Among the key measures is the immediate implementation of an extra budgetary allocation to enforce new pension rates for DBS pensioners. The President also endorsed the adoption of a proposed pension harmonization policy, which will be incorporated into the 2026 pensioner budget. Additionally, health insurance coverage for all DBS pensioners has been approved, ensuring access to essential healthcare services. The proposed reform includes a new pension rate of 32,000 naira, an incremental increases of 10.66% and 12.95% for pensioners from defunct and privatized agencies. Other components of the reform package include harmonization of pension rates across all DBS pensioners and their enrollment into National Health Insurance Scheme. In June, PTAD announced the successful disbursement of 8.6 billion naira in pension arrears to 148,625 eligible DBS pensioners across various sectors. The payments reflect the implementation of 32,000 naira pension increment approved by President Tinubu in 2024. PTAD had previously settled arrears related to the first pension increment of 20% to 28%, which came into effect in January 2024. The Nigerian Customs Service says it has intercepted 16 containers carrying contraband, including arms and expired pharmaceutical, among others. The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeni, stated this while showcasing the seized container to journalists in Apapa, Lagos. He explained that the importation of the containers violates laws and threatens the peace and security of the country. It says the duty paid value of all seizures is more than 10 billion naira. Giving details of the seizures, Adeni explained that on receipt of the credible information, a 40 feet container with registration number MRSU 6407089 was jointly examined by the officers of the Nigerian Customs Service and National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Adeni added that initially containers are just clean, but secondary search by the two agencies revealed the concealment of 202 cans of Colorado Loud, that is cannabis drugs. Each of these can weigh 500 grams and the total seizure into 101 kilograms. However, the intel available suggests that it is not only about drugs inside the container. Acting on this advice, the Corporate Affairs Commission was directed to deploy scanners and subject these containers to scanning. Adewale mentioned that other seizures include 7 containers of expired drugs and prohibited medication, 3 containers of expired food items, particularly margarine, and 3 containers of absolute prohibited used clothing. The CGC highlighted that over the weekend, the service also launched an operation where a 40-foot container was seized, which contained 1,290 sacks of frozen poultry food products. He reiterated the containers had 305 cartons of toothpaste that were concealed with beads and a jalabia dress. He pointed out that this particular seizures also underscores what the NCS does with other agencies of government regarding the enforcement of branch rules. He says because these products were also not registered by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration Control. In addition to the brand infringement, they are subject to seizures. 2 other containers of expired chest and lungs tablets without NAFDAC registration number were also seized. It says the service also intercepted 2 40-foot containers carrying codeine. He maintained that the information that the service is getting is helping to determine the link between the importers of the previous ones. He announced that 5 arrests have been made in connection with the seizures. A total of 5 have been made. Out of the 5, 3 have been charged to court. The CGC says the service will continue to work with both local and international partners and customs administration all over the world, using the instrument of custom to customs cooperation to identify those who are behind these operations so as to ensure that Nigeria does not become a dumping ground for them all. The Security and Exchange Commission has reiterated its commitment to leveraging blockchain intelligence to combat the growing wave of cryptocurrency-related fraud in a decisive move to strengthen oversight of Nigerian digital asset ecosystem. Speaking at a joint webinar hosted by SEC Nigeria and Global Blockchain Analytic from Chainalysis, SEC Director General Dr. Emomotomi Agama emphasized the need for full transparency in crypto transaction as a cornerstone of regulatory enforcement. The webinar themed Combating Scams with Blockchain Intelligence brought together regulators, analysts, and industry stakeholders to address the evolving threat in the digital finance space. Agama outlined the SEC's strategy to deepen its technical capability, focusing on blockchain's immutable nature to trace illicit activities. He stressed the importance of identifying wallet clusters, analyzing fund flow, and permanently recording transactions across major blockchains such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. Agama warns that the crypto ecosystem is increasingly being exploited by sophisticated fraud schemes, including fake decentralized finance protocols, NTF scams, and mirror exchange platforms that mimics legitimate sites to siphon users' deposits. The urgency of the SEC stance is underscored by findings from the Chainalysis 2025 Crypto Crime Report released earlier this year. According to the report, illicit crypto addresses received $178 billion over the past 5 years. The peak year was 2022 with $54.3 billion, followed by 2023, which is $43.1 billion, and 2024, which is $40.9 billion. Stablecoin accounted for 63% of illicit transaction volume, marking a shift away from Bitcoin in certain criminal activities. However, ransomware and darknet market transactions remain largely Bitcoin dominated. The report also reveals a 21% year-over-year increase in stolen funds in 2024, totaling $2.2 billion, while DeFi platform were the primary target. Centralized exchange saw a surge in attacking during the second and third quarter. Notably, private key compromises accounted for 43.8% of stolen crypto, with North Korea hackers responsible for $1.34 billion, that is 61% of the total stolen fund last year. Agama hailed the real enactment of the Investment and Security Act, ISA 2025, which came into effect in April as a transformative milestone for Nigerian crypto regulatory landscape. The law provides long-awaited clarity for digital asset operation, which have long existed in the regulatory vacuum. Agama therefore called for a unified action among regulators, industry players, and technology providers to proactively address crypto fraud. He emphasized that blockchain inherent traceability must be harnessed to protect investors and preserve market integrity. As Nigeria positioned itself as a regional leader in digital finance, the SEC push for transparency and intelligence-led regulation signals a proactive shift towards safeguarding the future of crypto investment. The Transition Company of Nigeria, TCN, says it has expended over 88 billion naira on repairs of vandalized infrastructure from 2021 to date nationwide. Speaking at the public sensitization on the ill of vandalism of TCN infrastructure at Odogunyan 132 kV transmission sustained substation in Ikorodu, TCN Principal Manager Lines Engineer Sheyi Onobanjo noted that taxes meant to be paid to government to rebuild and upgrade the power system is now being used for repair of damages. Let's take a quick short break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's Business Point on Global Television, where we extract the Nigerian economy and the government policies. Financial Market Dealers Quotation FMDQ Group PLC grew its revenue by 49.93% to 51.41 billion naira in 2024, up from 34.29 billion naira in 2023. While approving vest share appreciation rights for its chief executive officer and foundation executives. According to the firm audited annual report for the year ended December 31st, 2024, profit before tax surged by 64.54% to 23.23 billion naira, up from 14.03 billion naira in 2023. The group attributed the performance to strategic investment and robust market activities across its subsidiary, FMDQ Security Exchange, FMDQ Clear, FMDQ Depository, and FMDQ Private Market. A breakdown of the results shows that the group made a 3.65 billion naira gain on foreign exchange revaluation, comprising 172.93 million naira from cash and bank balance, 3.48 billion naira from the revolution of FGN Eurobond. In 2023, the total gain from such revolution stood at 4.07 billion naira. Personal expenses rose sharply by 55.48% to 17.60 billion naira from 11.32 billion naira in 2023, driven by higher wages, bonus, and share-based payments. Wages and salaries increased to 4.73 billion naira from 3.35 billion naira, while productivity bonuses climbed to 4.80 billion naira from 3.43 billion naira. Other staff cost and pension contribution were 302.92 million naira and 304.50 million naira respectively. The most significant personnel cost items was the cash settled SARS, which jumped to 7.43 billion naira in 2024 from 4.13 billion naira in 2023. The SARS entitled recipients to cash payment based on the increase in the share price of FMDQ Group PLC between the grant date and the time of exercise. The note of the account reveals that the group board approved vest SARS for the CEOs, representing 5 people were granted SARS amounting to 4% of the company's shareholding, with a 5-year contractual life and similar KPI-linked vesting conditions. The total carrying amount of liability for this cash settlement arrangement was 14.57 billion naira as of December 31st, 2024, compared with 7.15 billion naira a year earlier. The instructive value of vest benefits also 14.57 billion naira in 2024, with no equivalent in 2023. Commenting on the performance, the chairman of the FMDQ Group, Dr. Jibril Aku, says, in the face of the global and domestic macroeconomic headwinds in 2024, FMDQ Group delivered a remarkable financial performance. This was achieved through strategic focus, market innovation, and the resilience of the people and partners. The group also declared its first ever cash dividend of 0.20 naira per share, amounting to 5.20 billion naira as a reward to shareholders for their confidence. On market operation, the report noted that FMDQ Exchange expanded its exchange-traded derivatives market by introducing long-dated FX future contracts, extending tenure from 12 to 21 months. The depository business on board 47 participants in the year, with securities lodgement rising to 1.28 trillion naira from 1.25 trillion naira in 2023, while FMDQ private market saw the cumulative value of security notes noted increase by 44.69% to 1.13 trillion naira from 780.96 billion naira. The World Bank has approved $300 million in financing for Nigeria to strengthen resilience and expand access to essential service for internal displaced persons and their host communities in northern Nigeria. In a statement, World Bank Nigeria says the project is expected to benefit up to 4.7 million people, including about 1.3 million IDPs, by adopting an integrated development strategy aligned with Nigeria's long-term development vision. According to the bank, ongoing conflict and insecurity in the region have displaced over 3.5 million people, putting significant strain on local infrastructure and service in area where IDPs have settled. The influx has heightened competition for scarce resources, limited livelihood opportunities, and increased vulnerability of natural disasters such as flooding, while local government struggles to meet the needs of both residents and displaced population. The solid project will build on Nigeria's government's existing initiative, previous international interventions, and earlier multi-sectoral crisis recovery project, which focus on short-term recovery. The bank noted that the project will be implemented through coordinated, community-driven approach involving all tiers of government, with strong collaboration with international stakeholders. The bank added that targeted livelihood support under the project will help displaced and host population achieve sustainable economic outcomes, facilitating the region transition from crisis response to stability, resilience, and inclusive growth. This is where we draw the curtain on Business Point today. Join me again tomorrow on Global Television, channel 365 on DSTV and 276 on Star Times. To stay connected, kindly follow us on all our social media platforms at Global TV NG. Till I come your way again, I am Kike Lomo Okeri. I celebrate you all.